Welcome back to Gems. My name is Melissa Mitchell from here in Australia, Abundant Life Studio. And today I've been asked to react to atheism to Islam because of jinn. I just had to Google what jinn was, and I believe, if I've got it right, it was something to do with like a bad influence, like an entity or a spirit. I think that was, what is a jinn? I believe I got that right. Let me just have another look. So it was like a one Islamic concept that has entered into Western mythology is that of the jinn, as in the story of Aladdin. However, according to Islamic belief, jinn are real creatures that form a world other than that of mankind, capable of causing physical and mental harm to human beings. So from what I can understand, they're treacherous spirits or something that is evil or treacherous that is going to have a bad influence. So hopefully I've got that right. Hopefully our viewers can let me know in the comments if I haven't got that right. But I'm really quite intrigued now to watch this video and see a little bit more about it. So atheism to Islam to because of jinn, the daily reminder, 1.34 million subscribers. This video was uploaded 10 months ago, 316,000 views. Quite interested to see what this is about. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscription button below, hit the bell notification so you know when Jim's next uploads our videos. If you love our channel, don't forget to tell your friends, family, and loved ones about us. And at the end of this video, I'll let you know my reaction. If you enjoy it, leave us a thumbs up, leave your comments below, and join in the conversation. Let us know what you think. So let's not wait around. I'm going to push play and we'll see what it's all about. Atheism to Islam because of jinn. Here we go.
Jinn seem to have always sort of been a part of my life in one way or another, before I knew it or not. You know, even back to when I was 14 years old and I had, I guess, my sort of first jinn experience. I was out with my brother and his friend. His friend was really into like black magic and ghosts and all this stuff. And he's like, let's go to this place called like Spirit Corner or something like that. So we went there, we were sitting down in a circle and he started doing like, I don't know, whatever, seance or chant or whatever. And I felt this feeling inside my chest, sort of where you think your soul might be, in the center of your chest. And it really scared me, but I didn't say anything. I just kept quiet. And he looked straight at me and said, "You need to leave." And I'm like, why? But I knew why, I could feel it. And he's like, something here doesn't like you, just leave, run. So I got up and I ran like as fast as I could away from there and straight back home.
The best side hustle to start in 2022 is not by doing e-commerce, real estate, or writing blogs that...
I never really thought about this again until almost a decade later. My Revert story started back when I was about 21 years old and I was living in Malaysia. I had just moved into a new house and my best friend was over from Canada helping me move in. So we decided to have like a housewarming party, invite some friends over, have a barbecue, and we had all the doors open. Typical Malaysian houses, they'll have like the wooden swinging door and the glass sliding door at the front of the house. I'd taken my friends upstairs to see the house, see the rooms upstairs, and as we came out of one of the bedrooms, I heard a bang and I heard my dog bark downstairs. So I went downstairs and I saw my best friend and she just looked absolutely terrified. She was like pale white and just staring at the glass sliding door at the front of the house. And I asked her what had happened and she said my dog was walking towards the door and the glass door just slammed shut right in front of the dog. So, you know, logically, scientifically, that shouldn't happen. The wooden door would close if it was wind or something like that, but the glass door shouldn't do that. So we got kind of freaked out, locked up the house and just like went out and sort of forgot that it had ever happened. My best friend left. I was living in that house, and over the next couple of months, between sort of like February and March, Things kept happening in the house, but I kept making excuses for them. So I would come home and something I had left over there was now over there. I'd just tell myself, like, I forgot, I moved it. Or I'd hear something drop in my room and I'd look around and nothing had dropped, nothing had moved. So I thought maybe it's just the neighbor and I would just ignore it. And then one night I couldn't ignore what was happening. I came home, it was quite late, like 11 or 12 o'clock at night. I went to my bedroom, I put my dog in her bedroom, and I started to get ready for bed. I looked outside, sort of at the crack of my door, and I saw that the hallway light was still on outside. So I went outside to turn it off, and when I went outside, I felt that feeling that I had told you about in the beginning, when it happened to me when I was 14. Exact same feeling. The minute I felt it, I remembered that time. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't really hear anything. Maybe something like white noise, which sounds like a bit like a fan, but very faint. And I felt this feeling, but I could feel like where this feeling was coming from, like the energy, where it was coming from. And I got really scared, so I just shut my door and I locked my door. And as I turned around to go to my bed, something hit the door so hard behind me. The whole door shook. And I just got terrified. My heart fell on the floor. I didn't know what to do because I couldn't see it. I couldn't fight it. I couldn't do anything. At this time, I was an atheist, a very strong atheist who used to tell my friends like they're crazy for believing that there's some man in the sky who's created everything. And, I've been in many situations where life or death, or you're afraid. But I never thought to call on God or any kind of deity in any of those sort of situations because I just didn't believe that it would help. But in that moment, my mind was totally blank except for one word, and that word was Allah. So against sort of my normal reaction, I asked Allah to help me. And I went to bed and I put something on the laptop to kind of distract my mind. And I fell asleep so quickly, abnormally quick for me. And I remember that night it rained so much. It purified everything around me. And when I woke up, I sat on my bed and I made what would be my first dua. And I asked, well, first of all, I said, Allah, thank you if that was you who helped me and protected me from anything further last night. And if you want me to be Muslim, if you want me on this path, then you have to guide me because nobody has been able to convince me that you exist before now. After that, I felt very interested in learning about Islam. I started asking the Muslims that I knew about the religion, about why they prayed, what they were afraid from, what does Allah want from us. And I started to beta test Islam in my life. Over the next few months, Allah started to prepare me to become Muslim because my lifestyle was not Islamic at all before that. And I had a lot of things to change to get to a point where I can call myself a good Muslim, inshallah. So I quit drinking and I started to practice implementing patience, for example, when I feel impatient, when I feel irritated, maybe in a traffic jam. And so I would say, Allah loves patience and those who are patient, so be patient. And then I would see the situation changing. Probably about 6-7 months after that first incident, it was coming to be Ramadan. And all of my Muslim friends were very, very good Muslims in Ramadan. So I decided this is the time to see if I can be Muslim or not. Because for my personality, I don't do things halfway. I like to do them all the way or not at all. And I didn't want to be a Ramadan Muslim. I didn't want to only practice Islam during 1 month of the year. So if I was going to do it, I was going to do it all year. So I needed to know, can I be this? Can I fulfill all the duties of a Muslim? So I started fasting from the first day of Ramadan. I read a chapter or a juz of the Quran every day. I put on a hijab during that month, and I learned to pray. And it was very difficult learning how to pray and putting the papers in front of you and I was completely on my own, so I didn't really have anyone in that month to guide me except Allah, which is quite suiting because from the beginning, the whole journey was kind of just me and Allah. And so it was coming to be the middle of Ramadan, and I'd been fasting the whole month, and I'd been praying the whole month and reading the Quran. You know, I was about 15 juz in, and I kept reading about myself, you know, the blind and the deaf who are exposed to the truth. They know it's the truth, but their arrogance turns them away. And it was one night at Isha prayer, I thought to myself, if I died tonight, I'm not going to Jannah. I'm one of these people that Allah keeps warning us about. So I Googled, how do you say your Shahada in English? And I sat there on my prayer mat after Isha prayer and I said my Shahada between me and Allah.
Oh, wow, that was a lovely story. That's amazing. I didn't realize in the beginning that she was atheist. I know the title is Atheism to Islam, but I didn't actually realize it was going to be about her turning. I thought her story was going to inspire someone else. So that was actually a lovely turn of events. Sorry, Siri just kicked off on my phone there. So I don't know how Siri just kicked off there. That was a beautiful story. It was a little bit frightening in the beginning to hear what happened to her. I've heard of stories like that, and obviously growing up, you know, being in those sorts of circumstances, it's pretty frightening. So it was a really lovely story for her to share, and she's obviously found her path, and that's a beautiful thing. And you could see that story was from her heart. It was a beautiful, short, sweet story, and I think she's really found her path and her truth. And she's, you know, the emotion behind that was very sincere. Really well made. Thank you so much for sharing the daily reminder. I thought it was a beautiful story. 2 thumbs up for that. Atheism to Islam, but because of Jinn. It was good. I think it sort of ended a bit too quick, though. I would have liked to have heard a little bit more. It was beautiful, but I think it just ended a little bit abruptly. Like I would have loved to hear just a little bit more from this lovely lady and her experience maybe a year on from converting, because it was quite an interesting story. So, and how her life is a year on after converting. But nonetheless, I really enjoyed it. So if you like this too, leave us the thumbs up and some comments below. But I really enjoyed it. 2 thumbs up. Atheism to Islam because of Jinn, the daily reminder. Thank you so much. You are watching Gyms. Don't forget to share this channel with your loved ones, friends and family. And until next time, it's Melissa Mitchell from here in Australia, Abundant Life Studio. You're watching Gyms. We'll see you then. Thank you so much. Bye.